this is my Apple ecosystem, and in 2026 it's so important to have an ecosystem that works for you instead of against you. For years now, Apple has been the leading company in terms of having the best ecosystem, and after using my first iPhone in 2026, I'm not surprised. Let's get straight into the video. This is my Apple ecosystem for 2026. What is going on, everyone? This is Mensah Tech, back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing my tour of the Apple ecosystem, talking about why the Apple ecosystem is so great in my opinion, some of my favourite products, and why I like using the Apple ecosystem and how it, I believe, can help you. Apple is known for creating refined products, and after using my first iPhone, as mentioned, Apple has really raised the bar. For example, the iPhone 12 I've got in my pocket over here is almost the same speed, has the same processing speed as an iPhone as the Pixel 10. That is extraordinary, and if you want to check out my iPhone review, check out my iPhone 12 review up here. But in essence, this phone has so much processing power at its age, being almost 6 years old, that Apple has kind of left everyone behind in the dust at this point because their products are so refined. Of course, there are weaknesses, which I'll go into in my reviews of the iPhone 17 Pro, and some other reviews I'll be doing soon, and the AirPods Pro 3, for example. But for the most part, they're refined and great products to use on a day-to-day basis, which is why people are so invested into the Apple ecosystem. It's like when you buy one product, you kind of need to buy another one. If I buy an iPhone and I'm looking for an Apple Watch at the moment, as an example, I'm probably going to think, all right, what do I need so I can leave my phone at home? An Apple Watch Series SE, for example. Or what do I need so I can listen to great music with an iPhone? An AirPods Pro 3 or some AirPods Pro 3. If you get where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to say is that Apple relies on one of its products to sell well, to sell more, as far as I can see, and this means that Apple can make a lot of revenue by selling one of its products, and people will realize, actually, I probably should have got that instead and get that instead, and they'll get more products overall, and this is how you form an ecosystem. And in short, an ecosystem is just a collection of products that work well together, and we can see this very clearly when I'm looking at my ecosystem and in general. My ecosystem includes the M1 MacBook Air, AirPods Pro 3, iPhone 12, and iPad 11th generation, all of which are great products and that I love to use in 2026. And in my opinion, having products that work well together in an ecosystem is so important. For example, if I want to airdrop a file from my iPhone to my MacBook, I could do that via airdrop. And there's so many cool features that I'm going to go into later in this video that you can do with an ecosystem. And I'm also going to explain why it's so important, especially in this context and then with my products. But instead of babbling on, let me get straight into the good stuff and let me talk about some of the products that I use and why I love them. Also, stay tuned for my days in the life covering all of these products, and there'll be more videos like this down below. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe down below. And yeah, let's carry on with the rest of the video. So first up, let's talk about the M1 MacBook Air. Now this is a beast of a laptop. I've used this device for almost 6 years now, and after replacing my old Intel i3 4GB RAM i3 8th gen laptop that I used to use for editing my videos, which was interesting. It was an interesting experience and made me realize how important tech was to me and why I love doing what I do, which is YouTube. Obviously, I go to college and stuff, but apart from that, I like to make YouTube videos, and it made me realize how important having a good laptop is. We thought about it and we made a decision that the M1 MacBook Air was the way to go. And we also have an M1 iMac, which is out of my ecosystem, so I'm not going to talk about it. But that also shows that, obviously, like, for most people, having good tech is important, and the M1 chip and the M1 franchise is still really popular and important going into 2027, and should be for the next 2 or 3 years, even though it's not chip. In essence, this laptop is amazing to use. You have an amazing Butterfly keyboard, which is great for typing. When I write scripts for YouTube, I've written this script for YouTube because as I'm talking to you, I'm reading from my head actually, and I'm kind of like talking as I go, but I'm also reading a script. As you can probably tell, I'm looking like this in the video. If you see me doing that, I shouldn't be, because I should have been able to edit it. But what I'm doing is I'm reading from a script from the M1 MacBook Air, which is on the table over here. And this kind of is great for, it's a great teleprompter for reading scripts. But apart from that, the P3 wide color gamut screen is great for watching YouTube videos, great for using, and is obviously such an amazing computer in 2026, despite its age. For about £500 MSRP, you can get this, well, it's actually £1,000 MSRP, but you can get this for about £500 now. This is an amazing computer. For someone who goes to college, actually film school, this is amazing. I can use it for typing, editing videos, and it's so important to have a good laptop in this case, because if I'm going to edit a video for a project, I don't want to have the computer to be lagging all the time and being slow. And it's so important that the M1 MacBook Air is as good as it is, because I've got lots of projects coming up. I've got final major projects, that's what they're called, and I need to make sure that their deadlines are met and the quality is good, and I can actually view everything in full HD in Premiere Pro with the M1 MacBook Air, which is really great, and it shows how great the M1 MacBook Air is. But in general, the M1 MacBook Air is an amazing computer that still holds up in 2026 and works perfectly into my ecosystem. It is like the forefront of my ecosystem here, as it's my main device and every other device kind of circles around it, and I use my M1 MacBook Air more than any other device. And the second one is my phone, which I'll talk about very shortly. And yeah, so in general, it is the main device in my ecosystem that I use the most, and every other product works with it, not against it, which is why an ecosystem is so important. Next up has to be the AirPods Pro 3. Now, when I first got these, honestly, I rushed home from the Apple store in the local one where I live, and I put these on and I tested them out, and I was blown away. The review of the AirPods Pro 3 is on its way. I'm currently working on lots of videos, trying to get one video out every 2 weeks and some shorts every week, which should grow my channel slowly but surely. And yeah, in general, the AirPods Pro 3 are great. We have a new acoustic design designed to make these better to listen to music with, and actually when using them, I've noticed that the spatial awareness, not spatial awareness, but spatial audio, and listening to music is so much more full. It's as if you don't need spatial audio to listen to music, which makes the experience so much more better, and in my opinion, Apple have done an amazing job with the sound quality. In contrast to other opinions, these sound great and will be great for most people. I think, like the AirPods Pro 2, these are definitely worth the money. The new redesigned Airtight means that these goes inside the ear canal, not too deep inside, but they go inside your ear, meaning that you can get the best audio quality. And the phone infused ear tips mean that when listening to music, of course, you get a great experience. These, in my opinion, are the best in the business. Now, lots of other products, lots of other reviewers have said, such as Marquez Brownlee, said that these are amazing and that these are your everyday headphones. And I completely agree with that statement. These are really your everyday headphones, and I'm not surprised why these work so well in 2026. And they work greatly with other products in my ecosystem, and that's obviously it. Before we move on to the iPhone 12, we need to talk about noise cancellation with these headphones. Noise cancellation with the AirPods Pro 3 is so much better. It is probably about 2 times better than the AirPods Pro 2. And when listening to music, walking next to the pavement to get to, for example, local stations or anywhere close where I need to go somewhere, and I'm walking on the side of this pavement, I can't hear the cars, and that's crazy. That's kind of dangerous in a way, but you've got transparency mode and other features to keep you safe if you're listening to music whilst walking next to cars, or not next to cars obviously, but when walking on the pavement, for example, you can use these in a smart way. For example, I like to keep these on transparency mode to be aware of my surroundings, and the transparency mode works well enough. So these are health products as well, because you can actually use these they're qualified to be hearing aids, and also these are really healthy. These are great for your ears if you use noise cancellation, because it blocks out louder noises which can harm your ears. So apart from on a more serious note, these are actually helpful for you and your health more than you think. And I'm going to be touching on this a lot more in my AirPods Pro 3 review. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe down below. Next, the second heart of my system. Not like you can have a second heart, but anyway, irrelevant. The second force of my system being the iPhone 12. Now, with the right accessories, I believe that this device is still usable in 2026. I know people say, oh my god, if you've got an iPhone 12, wow, you should have an iPhone 14 or 15, come on, it's 2026. Get over yourself. Sorry to be angry, but respectfully, I don't mind using an iPhone 12 in 2026, and if you want to find out, we've got my review up here. Like, for example, I know people who use an iPhone XR in 2026, and that is still great to use, and that, the phone still works and it's still amazing. So exactly, so people who say you need a new phone to work or to use in 2026, especially a new iPhone, I believe they're wrong, because this device still packs so much power. As mentioned before, this is on the same level in terms of performance as the Pixel 10, and has so many features that are going for it, in like the cameras, the battery life when replaced when need be, and other features such as the great screen being a Super Retina XDR 2:1 contrast ratio display makes this device so amazing in 2026. I love watching videos, YouTube videos, any type of videos that I like to watch on display, mainly YouTube videos of course, and this display just works really well. And it's such a good OLED display, but it's also so much better than an LCD display. Whilst this phone has a 60Hz display, in my opinion, the hertz and the refresh rate, which is how many times the screen refreshes per second, is not so important because of Apple's amazing animations, and the battery life normally gets me around the phone itself lasts about 8 hours roughly, but the battery life can last about 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, which in my opinion, I try to use my phone as little as possible to improve my physical health by going on runs and doing other things that are more productive, like making YouTube videos like this. And so exactly my point is that I don't really need that much screen time anyway, so for me personally, in my ecosystem, this device works really, really well. And if you want to find out more, watch my iPhone 12 review down below. Next up, we have the iPad 11th generation. Now this is the top of the top in terms of performance. This has A16 bionic chip, and A16 bionic chip is 2 generations over this phone. Even if the iPad did have this chip inside of it, I'm sure it'd do amazing, because this chip is so powerful. The chip being the chip being the chip in the iPhone 12, being the F14 bionic chip, and obviously this works really well. This also means you can get 5G support with this iPad, which when using cellular, if you need to, at least it's there, and it's a really important feature if you want to use this iPad well on a day-to-day basis. For me personally, this iPad, or I should call it half a laptop because it is kind of a laptop, it's got a keyboard as well, is great for video editing, college use, and obviously being productive at school. And obviously I've used this laptop I've used both computers simultaneously for a long time, being the iPad and MacBook Air, and they work beautifully together. And there's been no issues whatsoever. And it's something I really like about the Apple ecosystem, is how versatile you can use all products without having many issues. And this is great. This echoes how good the iPhone 12's display is by having a Super Retina, liquid Retina display, which is great for viewing videos and very good with color actually. If you're going to use video editing with this iPad, having good specs like this is so important, and it's great to see that we've got, again, good specs with my other device being the iPad 11th generation. And in general, as I said in my review, which you can check out down below, this device is great to use on a daily basis, and I do love using all my products mentioned in this video. Personally, I'm really happy with the ecosystem, but there's one thing I would add. It would be the Apple Watch SE 3. This is the best Apple Watch I think there is for the money, and I'm so happy to be able to, I'm so excited to actually be able to buy this eventually in due course, and hopefully be able to review on the channel soon. So why does the ecosystem work so well? If it's features like AirDrop, where if I'm at my film college and I want to transfer files from my phone to my MacBook, if I want to be able to write a note on my phone and finish this on my MacBook, if it's a professional email to a company, for example, I can do this with iCloud syncing in the background. And like this, there are so many great features which makes using the ecosystem so important and so versatile in 2026 like this. And I'm so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to review this technology, and also to be able to use an Apple products, because Apple products are expensive, and it's great to see that I've gotten so many, and I'm so grateful. Features like this mean using an Apple ecosystem is super helpful in 2026. Anyway guys, that's been it. This is my Apple ecosystem for 2026, and this is why I love it. And there are so many great products in this ecosystem, most of which I've reviewed down below, which you can check out in the description. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Subscribe for more shorts and videos every other week. Shorts every week and videos every other week. And I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Peace out.